So did you have a lot of different cellmates over the years?
Uh, in Brooklyn, my best friend in Brooklyn was Charlie Carneglia, Gambino guy. And what they say, without Charlie Carneglia, there was no John Gotti. And Charlie ended up getting life plus 40. But Charlie was an expert at disposing of bodies. And, but he and I became best friends in Brooklyn. As far as cellmates, you know, there was always coming and going. Brooklyn is a place where they're coming and going. And I can't remember a lot of my cellmates, to be honest. I remember one that, you know, just before we locked down, they brought this new guy in there. And I would always tell them the rules, how I clean the place. It's got to be kept clean, this and that. You know, because you got your own toilet, your own sink, your locker, and I give them the instruction. And then I would tell them, no, I don't know what you were in here for. I don't care what you're in here for. But if you're an informant, when they unlock these doors, I don't want to see you coming back in. I said, you understand that? And there used to be a place, they were all like born again Christian. They had a little room that was on the first tier. And when they opened the doors, I seen him right there. And all these born again Christians, they stuck together. They were all informants still. It's like Sonny Franchese once told me, I remember it was on Father's Day. He said, show me a born again Christian, I'll show you an informant. Yeah. And damn it, he was right. All right. And when they locked us up, that kid was no longer with me.
You said you were well respected in prison, but there's always some numbskull that's going to start some shit. Did anyone try and start some shit with you?
I had one guy, you got to remember something. When they brought me to Lompoc, and we got off the bus from Victorville, we're chained, shackled, you know the routine, and they bring us through this area, and there's big glass, bulletproof windows, one guard back there, and everybody's got to get their name and number. I'm the last guy. Everybody gives their name, their inmate number. He gets to me, and the guard goes, now I want you all to look at that guy in the back. That's Ori Spado. He's the mob boss of Hollywood from the Colombo crime family. I swear to God. I sat there. What the fuck is it, a TV show? Then they bring you through the R&D. And you got to fill out these questions. You get your bedding, you get your clothing. And then they, you know, they're always going back to that holding cell. And this little guy comes, Spado, psst, psst, Spado, psst. Yeah, what's the problem? You answered this question wrong. Come with me. I said, what question is that? He says, this question. Are you a member of organized crime, a gang, this and that? He said, you mark no. I said, yeah, that's correct. No, you're a member of the Colombo crime family. You're a member of the Mafia. I said, where the fuck you get off with this shit, Mafia? I said, it's made up by the prosecutors and the press. That answer is no. And it remained no.
Did the guards start any shit with you? Any guards over the years?
My first guard was actually, his name was Magana. And when I was putting in my list, my telephone list to get approved, I give him a big list. And he got pissed and called me into his office. He said, don't you expect me to just take care of you? I said, look, it's our right. These are people who want to call. You got to do what you got to do to approve them. And then he changed the subject. He said, I used to be a guard when Carmen Persico was here. So he starts telling me how, Carmen had her own garden up there at Lompoc and so forth. And he asked me if I know Carmen. I said, I've heard of him. And he said, you only heard of him? But you're a Colombo. I said, yeah, but I heard of him. I said, maybe I read his name in the paper. But he started teaching me with respect. I had one issue because the guy happened to bunk next to some biker friends of mine. And my biker friends overheard this guy say that they wanted to do the same thing to me they did to John Gotti. So I heard about it, and the guy, he was on the upper bunk. So when the lights went out and everybody was asleep, I found my way to his bunk in the dark. And I put something to his corduroy and woke him up. I says, you want to do something to me? I said, you do something to me, you're never going to fucking wake up again. You see how I'm here now? I said, are we going to have a problem? No, sir. No, sir. Never had a problem. That was the only thing that ever happened.
Did you ever get any disciplinary tickets?
No.
And did you have many people visiting you?
No. You got to remember, I was born in upstate New York, so my family's upstate New York. I didn't want nobody visiting me. My two sons visited me one time in Brooklyn. My son lived in Florida, my other son in California. So, then I had things arranged because I thought I was going to be sent to Terminal Island, which is only 45 minutes away from here. Instead, and even the judge asked for me to be sent to Terminal Island. But BOP didn't do that. I think the FBI fixed it. Sent me as far away as possible. I didn't want a lot of people visiting me. My son, he came a few times with his girlfriend. I had a few other people come visit me. One guy from London came and visited me. Joey Pyle's brother.
Are you allowed in England now, or because of your record, won't they let you in?
I can't see them not allowing me in. My passport was never taken away from me because I never got bailed. I have a passport. I often wonder if I'm going to get stopped if I fly there.
Because we interviewed John Elite Gambino from in London. He was in London. And Francis, he's been out here. But other people, they've stopped. They wouldn't let Mike Tyson in. But I guess because he's such a big name, they knew all of his criminal history.
Well, you see the two names that you mentioned that they allowed in? They're both informants. I know Michael Franchese tried to get in touch with my friends when he did come there. My friends, I gave you their name. You know who they are. They told him they didn't even want him in fucking England.
Did you come across any high-profile prisoners?
Oh, yeah. One guy, they call him Lollipop, a Colombian big guy, heavyweight. Actually, he just gave him, he was an informant on El Chapo Guzman. Now, here's a story. This is something else that most people will not think they'll think I'm bullshitting. This guy got arrested while he was getting plastic surgery in South America. Got arrested, bro. His face was all scarred. And He's on the bus. We're going to court. And when he got on the bus, me and my co-defendants, we always hung together. But when he got on the bus, he was able to recognize we were somebody. He goes like this to me. I go like that. He had a few $1 billion. Billions. Guy was big. I know who his lawyer was. I saw him with his lawyer. His lawyer had paralegals that were broads. Gorgeous. Now, me and my co-defendant, we're going down. You get to use the visiting rooms in the morning to listen to your discovery. And he'd be there. He's in a room. What they're doing, I don't know, but every day. And what happened was, this guy, and they had him on a murder charge in Brooklyn. You know, he was a big cartel guy. I could look up his freaking name, but if you look up Lollipop drug dealer, you'll find him.
I'll just have a quick Google of that now. Lollipop drug dealer. Colombian, did you say?
Yeah.
Colombia. Oh, yeah. Juan Carlos Ramirez Abadia alias Chupeta.
That's it.
Born February 1663, Palmyra, Colombia, drug trafficker until his capture, one of the leaders of the that's the North Valley Cartel, because I've written a book about the Cali Cartel. So these guys were rivaling the Cali Cartel after Pablo Escobar's dominance. Yeah, big time. Definitely big time, this guy. Like you say, worth billions. Man, that's a crazy story right there.
Let me tell you what happened. If you get into the part, you study about it. After his sentencing, he disappeared. Now, he arranged, he gave a couple families, a couple guys in Colombia, $1 million or $2 million each, put some cocaine on a boat, and then he informed on them. So now that makes him eligible for the witness protection program. Those guys, a couple $1 million each for their family, and they get 10 years each. Ain't no big deal to them. After this guy's sentence, he disappeared. He's not in prison. I talked to an investigator. I'm telling a reporter, a dear friend of mine in New York about it. I tell him who his lawyer was. He says, I'm good friends with him. I called the lawyer. Lawyer said, I don't know who you're talking about. Bullshit, he don't know. He went to Colombia a couple of times. I know this. I seen it. Guy was on the witness, but how much of his $2 billion he had to give our government? And people don't realize the guys who got that kind of money, they could buy their way out of prison. And that's exactly what he did. And they brought this guy back, you'll see, where he informed against El Chapo Guzman. Brought him back into court.
So these guys, they make the billions, but does that money then end up in the hands of the authorities anyway? It's
Department of Justice. Yeah.
So basically, Chapo, Escobar, they're like fall guys really in the war on drugs. The money ends up going back to the government.
Right.
The house always wins.
Huh?
The house always wins, like in the casino.
But that guy Lollipop, he got a hell of a deal. He's out of prison.